Howdy everyone, Dead here. I'm here to teach you how to do the Root of Nightmares raid as fast as humanly possible. And just like my previous guides, I won't be covering all the transitional zones. And honestly, this raid is super beginner friendly, in my honest opinion. Let's get started. Welcome to the Cataclysm. For this encounter, you'll need to split your team up into two teams. One team of 2, which is runners, and another team of 4, which is ad control. The starters encounter have from the runners stand near the first orb of light. Have one of the runners shoot this orb of light. Once this happens, you'll get a buff called Field of Light, and you'll get a timer called Sweeping Terror. Ads start pouring into the room, and 2 scions will spawn, so you'll need to move fast. The first runner will follow a trail that comes off the orb of light to the second plate. Once the runner reaches that spot, there'll be a neutral orb. What you need to do is shoot this orb. Once that happens, it'll become another orb of light, and you'll lose your Field of Light buff, and this new orb of light will have another beam coming off of it, pointing you to where the next runner will need to go. Now second runner, what you'll need to do is run to this third plate and repeat this same process. And while this is going on, the first runner will run back to where the orb of light has an aura around it and shoot it to reclaim the Field of Light buff, and rinse and repeat the process of moving up, turning neutral orbs into orbs of light all the way up until you hit the end of that section. Now ad control. What you'll need to do is clear the ads to make sure the runners have no distractions or any time wasted, because the runners will need to move as fast as possible to make sure the Sweeping Terror debuff does not hit 0, because if this hits 0, it's a wipe. To give yourself more time, you'll need to kill the scions. Killing the scions will spawn a tormentor on one side of the arena and a barrier champ on the other. What you'll need to do is take out this tormentor with extreme prejudice. These guys, when killed, will add more time to the Sweeping Terror debuff. Once the runners complete the first set, move further down the arena and get ready to repeat this process again. Runners, the starting play will always be on the right side. Here's a map for the arena. Once you complete the final set, you can get your loot and get ready for the next encounter, the Scission. Welcome to the Scission. For this encounter, you'll need to split your team up into 2 teams of 3, 1 team on light and 1 team on dark. And on each team you'll have 1 runner and 2 ad controls. The starters encounter have the runners shoot the orbs on their side. Once that happens, ads will start spawning into the arena and you'll get a debuff called Imminent Expulsion. And there's no way to stop, pause, or halt this timer unless you complete the entire floor. So again, you'll need to move fast. Once this timer hits 0, it's an instant wipe. I won't go too in depth in the running, just know that it works the exact same as the previous encounter. But you'll have the addition of the Dark Side Orb, which will give you the buff Flux of Darkness. But again, nothing's different. You'll work the exact same whether it's on light or dark side, and you'll just follow the trail that goes to the next neutral orb and buff it with your respective buff. The only addition here for runners is that you'll need to use the man cannons to get across. Now ad control. Your job is relatively the same too. You'll be clearing ads all the way up until the end, but now there's going to be an additional enemy that has either a light or dark shield on it. What you'll need to do is stay near the aura of your respective side and wait for the runner to shoot it to not only buff them, but you as well. You'll use this buff to kill the enemies that have your alignment shields. This is the only way to hurt these enemies. And the closer you get to the end of the floor, barrier champs will begin to spawn. Once the runners complete their sides, you'll get a message that says your ascent is blocked by interlopers. These enemies will have nothing but shields matching the side you're on. Just clear these guys out and prepare to jump up to the next floor, and repeat this entire process over again. You'll have 3 floors to complete. Here's a map of the arena. Once you're finished clearing out the final floor, you can get your loot on the dark side. Now you're ready for the next encounter, the Macrocosm. Welcome to the Macrocosm. For this encounter, you'll need to split your team up into 2 teams of 3, 1 team on left or light, and 1 team on right or dark. And on each team you'll need 2 runners and 1 ad control, and runners will be placed on top left, top right, bottom right. The stars encounter clear out the ads in the middle. Specifically look out for honored centurions. You'll need to take these guys out as soon as possible. Once these guys are taken care of, terrestrial lieutenants will begin to spawn on your side. Have the runners take these guys out. Once you've killed one, you'll get a buff called Planetary Insight. Runners, once you have this buff, you'll need to look at the planets on your side to find out which ones are out of sort, and swap these planets to put them back on the correct sides. So once you find a planet, call it out for the person across from you so they'll know where to run. To swap these, you'll need to grab the podium underneath the planet and run across and interact with the other podium to put the planet in that spot. The planets are numbered 1 through 6, 1 being to the entrance of the encounter and 6 being furthest out. If you're not fast enough putting these planets into place, the planets will automatically align, setting up for a supernova, and that's a wipe. Once all planets are aligned, if done correctly, podiums of light should shoot up on each side. Now what you need to do is spawn another set of terrestrial lieutenants and get Planetary Insight again. This time, instead of looking on the sides, you'll be looking at the planets in the middle. What you'll need to do is put the planets from their respective sides on the plates in the middle. Doing this will set up damage phase. Once all the planets are put into place, you'll have roughly 5 to 10 seconds to clear out the remaining adds. Once the boss jumps down, the boss's shield will be one alignment, whether it's light or dark. What you'll do is stay on the matching plate to do damage to the boss. After you've broken that segment of health, the shield will switch to the other alignment, which you'll need to run to that plate and repeat the process. A little trick is this: whatever you have 2 of, that's going to be the initial alignment. So if you have 2 darks and 1 light, the damage order is going to be dark, light, dark. And if you have 2 light and 1 dark, the damage order is going to be light, dark, light. Just communicate with your team where you're going to be starting damage. At the end of that damage phase, if you don't want phase, just return back to your original positions and get ready to do this entire process over again. Here's a map of the arena. Once you got the boss into final stand, honestly, you got it. This boss for some reason has one of the longest final stands I've ever seen. But once he's down, get your loot and get ready for the final encounter. Nezarec, the final god of pain. Welcome to Nezarec. For this encounter, it's not really teams, but there are definitely jobs that everyone will need to cover. You'll have one runner on the left side running light, and another runner on the right running dark. And you have ad control on left side, protecting the light runner, right side, protecting the dark runner, and the middle, protecting the one on aggro. To start this encounter, get Nezarec onto the field.
Oh, a shame we can't entertain our one-sided conversations further. Oh, but this feels too good.
Once he's on the field, runners do what you do best and run as fast as you can, grabbing the buff and powering up the neutral orbs on your side. Ad control, do your best to make sure runners don't get distracted, thrown around, or killed. Now aggro, your job is to make sure Nezarec is focused on you, because if you don't, Nezarec will lift up his hand and start launching people into the sky. Get too high and you'll die. To make sure he doesn't do this, you just have to shoot the crit spot on his chest as he's lifting his hand. This will give you the debuff of Nezarec's hatred, aka his gaze. He'll jump down from his podium and start chasing after you. Just run around and survive as best you can, while also re-getting his gaze by shooting him in the chest. Give the runners as much time as they need to finish their sides. Once both sides are completed, the team can huddle together anywhere in the arena and prepare to do hard damage to Nezarec. Once Nezarec gets hit by a beam of light, start doing hard damage. You'll have roughly 15 to 20 seconds to dish out as much damage as possible. If you don't one-phase him, go back to your original spots and prepare to do it all over again. Now additionally, aggro. If you feel like your runners aren't going to make it in time before Nezarec wipes the team, what you can do is shoot his shoulders. Shooting his shoulders will show you either a light or dark veil of energy come off of him. Go ahead and call this out. If light comes off of him, the person on dark side will need to take their buff, any of the orbs of light, on left side that doesn't have an aura around it, and make refuge. And if dark energy comes off of Nezarec, the person on light side will take their buff to any of the orbs on right side that doesn't have an aura around it, and wherever that buff was deposited will make a refuge, so you'll be able to survive the wipe mechanic. Once Nezarec's done doing his mechanic, he'll get back on his podium and everyone can continue where they left off. And to make things a little bit more clear, here's a map of the arena. And just like Rolk, once Nezarec's in final stand, he'll go a little bit more berserk, and he'll start dishing out more damage. So just take him out as fast as you can, and finish him off for good. And congratulations, you finished Root of Nightmares. Terribly sorry for how long this one took me to finish. I've had a lot of technical problems along the way. I hope you guys can forgive me. Other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this raid guide. As always, I enjoyed making it for you. If you like what I do and want to see more, please like and subscribe to the channel. It means so much to me. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace and have a good one. Bye.